Good morning, welcome to CATEX TV. Today is Thursday, October 4th, 2012. Last night for 90 minutes, the candidates for presidency of the United States went at each other in Denver in a nationally televised debate. President Obama debated former Massachusetts Governor Mitt Romney. Mr. Romney showed a tremendous amount of aggressiveness, and most pundits are saying that he seems to have won the debate. The next one is scheduled in about 2 weeks' time. There'll be two more before the election. Yesterday afternoon, the Turkish military began to shell the Syrians. This was after a shelling from Syria that apparently killed 4 villagers in a Turkish city. Turkish parliament today approved a bill authorizing cross-border military operations into Syria, and shelling resumed for a second day today by Turkey. Turkey said it has no intention of declaring war. However, it does add a dangerous new dimension to the conflict. Lloyd's published an analysis yesterday about the floods that hit Thailand in October of last year. It said that while Bangkok suffered direct property damage, Lloyd's notes that it was, quote, out of the city and the major industrial parks that the impact was felt on a global scale as production ground to a halt and supply chains around the world were left short. 7 major industrial estates were inundated by as much as 10 feet during the floods. Now, when they say industrial estates, they mean very, very large factory complexes. The economic cost of the floods has already reached about 46 billion US, according to the World Bank. They noted that Sony, Nikon, Canon, Honda, Nissan, and Toyota factories were hardest hit. Lloyd's notes that coming just 7 months after the Japanese earthquake and tsunami, there was a double hit for many businesses. For Japan's big 3 property casualty insurers, the floods proved far more costly than the March 2011 earthquake. Following up on that, Swiss Re said that the cost of floods worldwide has now doubled over the last 10 years and now rivals earthquake losses. They point out that in 1970, flood losses were between $1 and $2 billion, whereas flood claims in 2011 are now $15 billion. Here's a very interesting statistic from Swiss Re. 2011's $12 billion insured losses from the Thai floods corresponded to 1,800% of Thailand's total annual property premium. According to Jens Melhorn, head of flood reinsurance at Swiss Re, that emphasizes the difficulties the industry faces in creating an economically viable approach to flood insurance. No kidding. You wouldn't dare think of charging a premium at that rate. No one would pay it. But what's the alternative? Allied World Insurance has said that it will record a $40 million claim, or a loss actually, related to crop reinsurance. This is in its third quarter results it expects to announce today. The amount is in addition to the company's anticipated losses for this line of business prior to the onset of the drought. Allied World also expects to record up to $10 million in losses for Hurricane Isaac, which made landfall in Louisiana as a Category 1 storm back in August. The largest American refinery, owned by ExxonMobil in Baytown, Texas, saw a fire yesterday. The fire at the 560,000 barrel a day refinery east of Houston was under control. Remaining plant operations were not affected. The fire broke out at about 5 p.m. local time. Apparently, according to people familiar with the operations, it broke out in a diesel hydro-treating unit. Another typhoon is on its way to Japan. This is a fast-moving typhoon packing winds of about 80 miles per hour. It's Typhoon Maliksi, M-A-L-I-K-S-I. It's the 19th typhoon of the season. An interesting story coming out of Turkey yesterday. The remains of the former Turkish president Turgut Özal were actually exhumed, dug up from a mausoleum that actually was quite ornate. The remains were dug up, accompanied by police escort, and brought to a hospital where there is going to be an extensive forensic examination to determine whether or not the president was poisoned. The president died in 1993 at the age of 65. He was the president who led Turkey out of the military rule in the 1980s and drove far-reaching economic reform. The prosecutor said that the corpse was in its place. Thank goodness. Well, here's somebody who obviously doesn't have to face a re-election campaign. This would be 88-year-old Zimbabwe President Robert Mugabe. Robert Mugabe's motorcade, which is notorious for speeding around the streets of Harare in Zimbabwe, the nation's capital, was involved in its third fatal accident in the past 4 months. Yesterday, a police motorcyclist burned to death after he crashed into a truck. He was trying to clear the way for the 15-vehicle convoy, which speeds around the antiquated streets of Harare at speeds of up to 70 and 80 miles per hour. Mr. Mugabe's convoys have become a source of resentment for many ordinary Zimbabweans who are required by law, if not by common sense, to get the heck out of his way. Wouldn't that be something if something like that happened here? That's the news for today. If we have any breaking news, we'll come back and tell you. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you.